Russia has been building up its naval presence near Syria in an effort to keep Western allies out of Syria's bloody civil war. Wall Street Journal's Pentagon correspondent Julian Barnes joins us now with details of this. Julian, thanks for joining us. This is no small thing and no small number of warships.
No, this is Russia's largest post-Cold War deployment of its naval forces outside the waters immediately surrounding Russia. We've had in recent months between 10 and 15 warships near Syria in the Eastern Med. Right now we have 11 ships, including destroyers, intelligence collection ships, frigates.
Now, these are very much warships, and no way could they be viewed in any other way as sending a message. What exactly is the message that Russia wants to send the US, Israel, Turkey, the rest of NATO?
The bottom line message is that Russia has a strong interest in Syria and that there's not going to be a solution to this problem unless it has the blessing of Russia. It is a message that there are Russians in Syria in force and that it has power in that country. It would be a complicating factor should the U.S. decide to intervene militarily, but the U.S. doesn't look like it wants to intervene militarily in Syria, and one reason is because there's a large Russian presence.
Now, they have a port there, a naval base, and that is their only base or naval base in the Mediterranean. So clearly they want to keep that, right?
That's right. And this, the deployments of these ships is a way of them saying we're not going to give up that base. Now, that's okay with the U.S. The U.S. has signaled privately to Russia that whatever the long-term solution in Syria, the United States is okay with Russia keeping that base. That's going to be something that the U.S. hopes to offer Russia as they try to lure them to the table to take a more active role in pushing out Assad rather than blocking Western efforts in Syria. But the base remains a complicating factor for the West.
So, Julian, one of the things that it has been talked about is Russia possibly selling an S-300 system of guided missiles to Assad, and that would be really quite bad news for anyone wanting to intervene in Syria, wouldn't it?
That's right. I mean, these are some of the most advanced anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems in the world. They're capable of shooting down guided missiles. They're capable of shooting down aircraft. U.S. officials have told us in recent days they expect this shipment to leave Russia as soon as the end of this month. And it's a system that really worries both U.S. and Israeli officials.
Julian, should we be worried about a truly enormous multi-state war breaking out centered on Syria, involving all the parties we've talked about, Israel, Turkey, Russia, the US, possibly Jordan as well?
You know, this is why U.S. and Western defense officials have been saying this is such a problem. It's really apparent to folks that this is not just a Syrian problem. This is not just about a civil war, but that there's a spillover effect, that it could threaten Jordan, that the refugees coming out of Syria could push the Hashemites out of power in Jordan. Turkey is enormously worried about the refugee flows, the possibility of a terrorist state emerging from the rubble of Syria. Iraq could be destabilized. So yes, absolutely, there is a real threat of a regional war coming out of Syria.
Well, let's hope it can be avoided. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Julian Barnes, Pentagon reporter at the Wall Street Journal.